How you feeling?
I feel good.
Yeah, how are you feeling after the neck injury?
I mean, so someone just asked me this recently, and I said, not as good as I want to feel, but better than I should feel.
Okay.
So
Good enough to be working.
yes, definitely cleared. I feel good. I feel good. To be honest, I feel good.
Well, did you get to a point with it where you weren't sure if you were going to be able to return?
Yeah. So, so it started in Brooklyn before WrestleMania. Me and Ricochet had a match, and I took a European uppercut, and I felt like I was like, whoa. Did like a system check. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm okay. I'm all right. And then after that, I was doing main event, Raw, NXT coconut shows. I was doing some SmackDown dark stuff. I was just on everything. And then it got to that match with Oba Femi for the North American Championship in NXT. And we got to the second half of that match, and I lost all strength in my right arm. And I couldn't pick him up, so I just started calling audibles in the ring where I wasn't going to pick him up. We made it through the match, and that was that. And the whole time we were checking on medical to see how I was doing. And then after that match, I was like, okay, that's no good. And then I went to like Discovery Cove that week with my wife just to be like, okay, I need a break, like a reset. Usually when we do vacation things, it's go, go, go. I'm like, no, I need something where I can just relax and just see how I'm doing. And we did like a animal trek thing where you interact with a parrot, and I held my arm up for the parrot to come over, and I couldn't hold my arm up. So that was immediately MRI. I told WWE, and they're like, we're getting an MRI right away. And then we got the results back, and that was it. They read the results, and they're like, okay, this is probably the end of your career, to the point where they handed me mental health paperwork to kind of get that rolling, because I already had the double fusion in my neck. So if we're talking about another level fusion, because the MRI showed I had another herniated disc in my neck, the level above. So I had 2 levels, C5, 6, 7 are all fused together. This was C4, 5, so the one directly above.
Right.
Another fusion would probably be the end of my career. So yeah, we're preparing me for the worst for when I went to see my surgeon. And my surgeon had read the results in the MRI, and he pretty much felt the same way, that this was it. But so for 5 days, I think this is it. It's over with. It's I flew too close to the sun, and the wings melted, and that's it.
Like Icarus.
Yeah, exactly. But when I saw him in Birmingham 5 days later, and he actually had the disc for the MRI, and he read the results for the MRI himself, he's like, okay, we can work with this.
Really?
Yeah. So with my original injury, I did the suicide dive, and my head got pushed back, and 2 of my discs exploded into my spinal cord, which caused the temporary paralysis, and then pretty much emergency fusion surgery after that. This one, the herniation happened. Instead of shooting in towards the cervical cord, it went out away from it. So he was pretty sure we could probably, because my symptoms weren't too bad, we could probably rehab it without having to do surgery. And if we did have to do surgery, he knew a different surgeon who would go in through the back and just shave the herniation down arthroscopically, which wouldn't require fusion. So he said on multiple occasions that I dodged a very big bullet.
So it goes from your career is over on paper as you're being handed this to 5 days later, I think we can work with this.
Yeah, it was quite an emotional week.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got another opportunity here.
It isn't almost. I do have another opportunity, and it's like the theme of my career, right? It keeps happening where things happen, and it's a career-ending injury, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, maybe not. And I'm lucky. I'm on not my 9th life. I'm well past that. I'm on my 12th life, pretty much.
Is this just sheer luck, or is it that you've got enough muscle mass on you that you somehow avoided the injury?
No, it's luck. It's luck. I mean, we're talking 23 years of wrestling. It's a lot of wear and tear in the body. So, and especially so with the original neck injury, that was really a freak accident and something I'd done 1,000 times. And the thing happened, and that I had to deal with then. But
and when was that?
That was 2020. So that was COVID. So,
and when you say temporary paralysis in the ring during the Thunderdome era, are we talking seconds? Are we talking minutes?
So seconds for feeling.
Like you couldn't feel anything.
Yeah. So I dive out of the ring. Someone's hand gets me in the face. It pushes my head back, and you watch it and you can't even tell that's what happened. And then the disc exploded right into my spinal cord, and I fall and I hit the mat. So when I fall, a lot of people thought that I hurt my legs on the dive, because when the hand hits me, I lose everything. My body, I have no control over anything. So like my legs just hit the ground. There's nothing. Boom. But then I managed to roll over, but I couldn't feel anything. So I knew this is COVID. This is no one's ringside. No fans are ringside. No medicals ringside. No nothing. And I knew they were going to the finish in the ring, and I needed to tell somebody I was hurt. I knew the ref wasn't going to come out and check on me because they were going to the finish in the ring. So I went to put my hands into the X. It's just to signal that I'm hurt. I need medical out here. Yeah. And I didn't feel my arms at all. So I go back and watch the footage, and my arms move, and I do a little X. But I couldn't feel that. Couldn't feel it at all. Couldn't feel my legs, nothing. And then as the medical came out and stuff, I started getting crazy burning sensation in my legs. And then I started getting crazy burning sensation in my arms and stuff. So the feeling started to come back. But it was just, I was riddled with nerve pain. And then it was off to the ambulance. I did manage to ask Talent Relations for a raise on my way. Didn't happen, though. But I thought it was a good opportunity.
While we're here.
But then that was crazy. That whole thing was crazy, too, because it was COVID. So no one could get in the ambulance with me. I went to the hospital. No one could come in to see me.
Oh, man.
There was a whole bunch of people who came to the hospital that couldn't get in. And my tag partner, obviously, the ref, who I've known for so long, Ref Bennett. Jason Jordan came. He was the producer, like, just trying to check on me, but they couldn't even get into the hospital. Not even the waiting room. They couldn't even get because of the COVID. We're in the middle of COVID. So it was kind of a crazy obviously it's a crazy experience, but it made it double, like amplified because of the situation that we were all in.
So the one that happened this year before WrestleMania, that's a broken neck too?
No. Well, it's a herniated disc. So it's not a broken neck. I think it's the easiest way to describe it is a broken neck for someone who doesn't know. Yeah. But, your anatomy and stuff. But you have your neck and you have discs. That,
in between the vertebrae.
Yeah, they're like shock absorbers pretty much. The way my surgeon describes it, like jelly donuts that are in between each vertebrae. And those can get squished or pop.
And the jelly comes out.
Jelly comes out, exactly. And for me, in that scenario, the first injury, the jelly went out into my spinal cord, which is why I was so messed up. And my surgeon loves when I go to see him. He always he brings me out to the hallway, pulls up my old MRI, and then he's like, "This is what your neck used to look like. This is what it looks like now." And then he'll call people over and be like,
"Oh no,"
because it's pretty amazing that I've been able to return from such a horrific injury.
Yeah,
there's nobody on the roster now who has a double fusion neck surgery.
I've heard so many wrestlers say, if you have the option to get fused, don't. Why did it make sense in your situation?
I didn't have a choice. There was no option for me because the disc had exploded into my spinal cord. So I had pressure pushing on my spinal cord, which is what gave me all the nerve pain. That's why I had temporary paralysis.
Yeah.
As the swelling kind of eased up a little bit, I was able to get the feeling back as things kind of went back in. But because they were so damaged, they were going to permanently push on my spinal cord. So that would have been the end of my career, number one, but it would have been horrific for my quality of life.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be able to do anything. It was hard enough to get an approval to get a flight from Orlando to Birmingham to get the surgery with that surgeon, that specific surgeon. I don't think the people in Orlando wanted to do it. So I was lucky and got the flight. But yeah, it was. I didn't really have much of a choice.
So where's your quality of life at right now?
So I'm pretty good now. To be fair, I do have permanent nerve damage and nerve pain in my hands, and that will never go away. And that's something I live with. But as far as like everything else, like I got all my most of my mobility back in my neck. It's a little stiff now because I have another herniation, but I still have very good range of motion. I credit that to yoga pretty much. And then all my strength is returned to my arm. So I have no problems there. So it's really just the nerve pain right now from the original injury that I have that's permanent. But I have good days and bad days. Some days I can really feel it. It goes down my arm a little bit. And some days I can't feel it at all. It kind of all depends. But quality of life, I feel pretty good.